David and the army commanders then appointed men from the families of Asaph, Heman, and Jeduth to proclaim God's message to the accompaniment of harps, lyres, and cymbals. Here is a list of their names and their work. From the sons of Ash, there were Zakur, Joseph, Nathaniah, and Asarla. They worked under the direction of their father Asaph, who proclaimed God's message by the king's order. Jeduthun had 6 sons: Gedaliah, Zuri, Jeshiah, Shimi, Hashabiah, and Mattaniah. They worked under the direction of their father Jeduthun, who proclaimed God's message to the accompaniment of harp, offering thanks and praise to the Lord. Heman's sons were Bukai, Mattaniah, Uzel, Shabal, Jeremoth, Hanani, Eliatha, Gedalti, Ramati-Ezer, Josh Bekasha, Maloith, Hothar, and Mahazioth. All these were the sons of Heman, the king's seer, for God had honored him with 14 sons and 3 daughters. All these men were under the direction of their fathers as they made music at the house of the Lord. Their responsibilities included the playing of cymbals, lyres, and harps at the house of God. Asaph, Jeduthun, and Heman reported directly to the king. They and their families were all trained in making music before the Lord, and each of them, 288 in all, was an accomplished musician. The musicians were appointed to their particular term of service by means of sacred lots, without regard to whether they were young or old, teacher or student. The first lot fell to Joseph of the Asaph clan and 12 of his sons and relatives. The second lot fell to Gedaliah and 12 of his sons and relatives. The third lot fell to Zakur and 12 of his sons and relatives. The fourth lot fell to Zuri and 12 of his sons and relatives. The fifth lot fell to Nathaniah and 12 of his sons and relatives. The sixth lot fell to Bukiah and 12 of his sons and relatives. The seventh lot fell to Asala and 12 of his sons and relatives. The eighth lot fell to Jeshaniah and 12 of his sons and relatives. The ninth lot fell to Mattaniah and 12 of his sons and relatives. The 10th lot fell to Shimi and 12 of his sons and relatives. The 11th lot fell to Uzel and 12 of his sons and relatives. The 12th lot fell to Hashbiah and 12 of his sons and relatives. The 13th lot fell to Shabal and 12 of his sons and relatives. The 14th lot fell to Mattaniah and 12 of his sons and relatives. The 15th lot fell to Jeremoth and 12 of his sons and relatives. The 16th lot fell to Hananiah and 12 of his sons and relatives. The 17th lot fell to Josh Bekasha and 12 of his sons and relatives. The 18th lot fell to Hanai and 12 of his sons and relatives. The 19th lot fell to Malothi and 12 of his sons and relatives. The 20th lot fell to Eliathan and 12 of his sons and relatives. The 21st lot fell to Hothar and 12 of his sons and relatives. The 22nd lot fell to Gedalti and 12 of his sons and relatives. The 23rd lot fell to Mazorioth and 12 of his sons and relatives. The 24th lot fell to Ramati Ezer, and 12 of his sons and relatives. These are the divisions of the gatekeepers. From the Kohath, there are Meshelmiah, son of Kor, of the family of Ashv, the sons of Meshelemiah, from Zechariah, the oldest, Jedal, the second, Zebadiah, the third, Jathnil, the fourth, Elam, the fifth, Jehohanan, the sixth, the Elihonain, the seventh, the sons of Obed-Edom, also gatekeepers, were Shemiah the oldest, Jehozabad the second, Joah the third, Sakar the fourth, Nathaniel the fifth, Amil the sixth, Issachar the seventh, the Pelethain the eighth. God had richly blessed Obed-Edom. Obed-Edom's son Shemiah had sons with great ability who earned position of great authority in the clan. Their names were Othni, Raphael, Obed, and Elzabad. Their relatives Elihu and Shemikah were also very capable men. All of these descendants of Obed-Edom, including their sons and grandsons, 62 of them in all, were very capable men, well qualified for their work. Meshelmiah, so frustrating because I want to say these names correctly and it's like I know how, but they don't come out right. Meshelmiah's 18 sons and relatives were also very capable men. Joash of the Merari clan appointed Shemiri as the leader among his sons, though he was not the oldest. His other sons included Hilkiah the second, Tebaliah the third, and Zechariah the fourth. Hosah's sons and relatives who served as gatekeepers numbered 13 in all. Their divisions of the gatekeepers were named for their family leaders, and like the other Levites, they served as the house at the house of the Lord. They were assigned by families for guard duty at the various gates without regard to age or training, for it was all dedicated by means of sacred lots. The responsibility for the east gate went to Meshelmiah and his group. The north gate was assigned to his son Zechariah, a man of unusual wisdom. The south gate went to Obed-Edom, and his sons were put in charge of the storehouses. Shuppim and Hussah were assigned the west gate and the gateway leading up to the temple. Guard duties were divided evenly, and 6 Levites were assigned each day to the east gate, 4 to the north gate, 4 to the south gate, and 2 to each of the storehouses. 6 were assigned each day to the west gate, 4 to the gateway leading up to the temple, and 2 to the courtyard. These were the divisions of the gatekeepers from the clans of Korah and Merari. Other Levites, led by Asia, were in charge of the treasuries of the house of God and the storerooms. From the family of Libni, in the clan of Gershon, Jerel was the leader. The sons of Jerel, Zetham and his brother Joel, were in charge of the treasuries of the house of the Lord. These are the leaders that descended from Amram, Izhar, Hebron, and Uzal. From the clan of Amram, Shebul was a descendant of Gershom, son of Moses. He was the chief officer of the treasuries. His relatives through Eliezer were Rehoboam, Jeshion, Joram, Zichri, and Shelomoth. Shelomoth and his relatives were in charge of the treasuries that held all the things dedicated to the Lord by King David, the family leaders, and the generals and captains and other officers of the army. These men had dedicated some of the plunder they had gained in the battle to maintain the house of the Lord. Shelomoth and his relatives also cared for the items dedicated to the Lord by Samuel the seer, and his relatives also cared for the items dedicated to the Lord by Samuel the seer, Saul son of Kish, Abner son of Ner, and Joab son of Zeruiah. All of the other dedicated items were in their care too. From the clan of Izhar came Kenaiah. He and his sons were appointed to serve as public administrators and judges throughout Israel. From the clan of Hebron came Hashabiah. He and his relatives, 1,700 capable men, were put in charge of the Israelite lands west of the Jordan River. They were responsible for all matters related to the things of the Lord and service of the king in that area. Also from the clan of Hebron came Jeriah, who was the leader of the Hebronites according to the genealogical records. In the 40th year of David's reign, a search was made in the records, and capable men from the clan of Hebron were found at Jazer in the land of Gilead. There were 2,700 capable men among the relatives of Jeriah. King David sent them to the east side of the Jordan River and put them in charge of the tribes of Reuben and Gad and the half-tribe of Manasseh. They were responsible for all matters related to the things of God and the service of the king. This is the list of Israelite generals and captains and their officers who served the king by supervising the army divisions that were on duty each month of the year. Each division served for 1 month and had 24,000 troops. Jashobeam, son of Zabdiel, was commander of the 1st division, which was on duty during the 1st month. There were 24,000 troops in his division. He was a descendant of Perez and was in charge of all the army officers for the 1st month. Dude, a descendant of Aoah, was commander of the 2nd division, which was on duty during the 2nd month. There were 24,000 troops in his division, and Milcloth was his chief officer. Benani, son of Jehoiada, the priest, was commander of the 3rd division, which was on duty during the 3rd month. There were 24,000 troops in his division. This was the Benani who commanded David's elite military group known as the 30. His son, Amzabad, was his chief officer. Ashel, the brother of Joab, was commander of the 4th division, which was on duty during the 4th month. There were 24,000 troops in his division. Ashel was succeeded by his son, Zebediah. Shammah, the Izhite, was commander of the 5th division, which was on duty during the 5th month. There were 24,000 troops in his division. Ira, son of Ikkesh from Tekoa, was commander of the 6th division, which was on duty during the 6th month. There were 24,000 troops in his division. Helez, a descendant of Ephraim from Pelon, was commander of the 7th division, which was on duty during the 7th month. There were 24,000 troops in his division. Sebekiah, a descendant of Zerah from Husha, was commander of the 8th Division, which was on duty during the 8th month. There were 24,000 troops in his division. Abezer from Anath in the territory of Benjamin was commander of the 9th Division, which was on duty during the 9th month. There were 24,000 troops in his division. Maharai, a descendant of Zerah from Netoph, was commander of the 10th Division, which was on duty during the 10th month. There were 24,000 troops in his division. Benani from Pirathon in Ephraim was commander of the 11th Division, which was on duty during the 11th month. There were 24,000 troops in his division. Heled, a descendant of Othniel from Netoph, was commander of the 12th Division, which was on duty during the 12th month. There were 24,000 troops in his division. The following were the tribes of Israel and their leaders. The tribe of Reuben, with the leader Eliezer son of Zichri. The tribe of Simon, with the leader Shephatiah son of Makkah. The tribe of Levi, with the leader Hashabiah son of Kemuel. The tribe of Aaron the priest, leader Zadok. The tribe of Judah, leader Elihu, a brother of David. Tribe of Issachar, leader Omri, son of Michael. Tribe of Zebulun, leader Ishmaiah, son of Obadiah. Tribe Naphtali, leader Jeremoth, son of Azrael. Tribe Ephraim, leader Hosea, son of Azaziah. Tribe of Manasseh West, leader Joel, son of Pedaiah. Tribe Manasseh East, leader Iddu, son of Zechariah. Tribe of Benjamin, leader Jesel, son of Abner. Tribe of Dan, leader Azrael, son of Jeroham. These were the leaders of the tribes of Israel. When David took his census, he did not count those who were younger than 20 years of age, because the Lord had promised to make the Israelites as numerous as the stars in heaven. Joab began the census, but never finished it because the anger of God broke out against Israel. The final total was never recorded in King David's official records. Azmaveth, son of Adiel, was in charge of the palace treasuries. Jonathan, son of Uzziah, was in charge of the regional treasuries throughout the towns, villages, and fortresses of Israel. Ezri, son of Caleb, was in charge of the field workers who farmed the king's land. Shimei from Ramah was in charge of the king's vineyards. Zabdi from Shepham was responsible for the grapes and the supplies of wine. Belhana from Gedir was in charge of the king's olive groves and sycamore fig trees in the foothills of Judah. Joash was responsible for the supplies of olive oil. Shatray from Sharon was in charge of the cattle on the Sharon plain. Saphat, son of Adlai, was responsible for the cattle in the valleys. Abli, the Ishmaelite, was in charge of the camels. Jedediah from Meronoth was in charge of the donkeys. Jaziz, the Hagrite, was in charge of the king's sheep. All these officials were overseers of King David's property. Jonathan, David's uncle, was a wise counselor to the king, a man of great insight and a scribe. Jael, the Hakmonite, was responsible to teach the king's sons. Ahithophel was the royal advisor. Hushai, the Archite, was the king's friend. Ahithophel was succeeded by Jehoiada, son of Benani, and by Abiathar. Joab was commander of the Israelite army. And that's the end of 27. The next one that we'll be picking up in, just a little bit behind, going to get caught up today, is 1 Chronicles 1:28 all the way into 2 Chronicles 1. Then we're going to get caught up and go right into today's reading, which is 2 Chronicles 2 through 8. So a couple catching up to do. Feel free to read it at your pace, but going to get them all uploaded. And what a joy to spend time in the Word. I hope y'all have a great day and come back later or anytime for the next part. Peace.